Now we're off to Brighton.
Morning, Hugh.
Morning, everyone. Could you all come round?
Hugh Webb has organised his last early April ride for the 100-mile trip to the seaside and back, and this year nearly 100 riders gathered in his garden at 7 a.m. for Hotxbuns, music and a pre-ride briefing. It's lucky he has understanding neighbours.
Thank you so much for coming this morning. It looks like we might have a dry day. Welcome to the 10th and final Hotxbuns ride. So we're due to ride 100 miles today, and our theme for the day is Amigos para siempre, which means friends forever or friends for life. And I'm hoping that after 100 miles cycling together, you'll strike up a friendship that lasts.
Rode down to Brighton. We were new members. We've just done London to Paris, and then we thought, well, what can we do next? So we did that. It's 101 miles from my house to Brighton Marina and back, and we stopped at Café Rouge in those days, and we're still doing that today. And I noticed in our club that a number of us were doing international tours and international training camps, but a number weren't and didn't even know about them. And I thought it would be good if we could integrate people to go a little bit further than they thought they could, and so design this ride of 100 miles, but it's in 25 mile stages, 4 stages of 25 miles, so that it can take all club members through. And then I thought it would be a better idea if we could mix it up a bit and not race but pace, so the stronger riders in the club would support the perhaps weaker riders and take them right through. And that's epitomised today by Anthony Harrison and Steve Pike, for example, who've taken what we call the hot group, the slower group, and Steve and Anthony are probably 2 of the strongest riders in the club, yet they've taken the slowest group and they've taken them through 100 miles, and on all that group it's the first time that they've cycled 100 miles. When you look at the group, you'd never imagine they were cyclists, and here they are. And when they walked into the cafe at 50 miles, they were buzzing. And so to see them come into the garden in a moment for a glass of wine and a hot pizza will be a joy to me. So I think I've taken it as far as I can, and to move it on from here really needs an organisation. I'm an individual and I can't take it any further, but I can see how as an organisation it can be taken much further by linking in with various other organisations. So we've got Bigfoot Club, we've got a few other friends joining us and people travelling to come on it, and everyone seems to be making it. But also we're keen on safety.
I also want to ask you about Tour de Force, because we met Rick today, Rick Waits, who's the chairman of Tour de Force, which you did in 2014. It's about 3,000, more than 3,000 kilometres. It's all the stages of the Tour de France, which is unbelievable. Can I be really rude and ask how old you were when you did that?
Oh, I'm 68. So today I'm 70, and
2 hip replacements as well.
Yes, that's correct. 2 hip replacements. That was 12 years ago. The hip replacements, yes. But strangely enough, the hip replacements don't affect you. They affect more when people hear about it. They think, "Gosh, that must be odd," but it isn't really, because they're just normal hips, like you would have. My hips, your hips have got little golf balls in them at the top. Mine didn't. Mine were completely squashed. But now I've got titanium golf balls in there, if you like, put it that way. So they work just like that. So the hips don't hinder you at all.
Had a lot of people to do extraordinary things, so congratulations and thanks very much again.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear. Thank you, Andy.
To mark Hugh's last Hotxbuns ride, Peter Lake organised 3 trophies to celebrate Hugh's involvement with the club down the years.
The cup is for outstanding achievement by a Bigfoot adult rider in a given year, and the shield is for the Bigfoot Go riders. It's an award of merit for the young rider who deserves it, maybe for a sunny disposition, always turning up, and it could be for an outstanding performance on a bike. And of course there was the special award for Hugh himself from the Bigfoot Hotxbuns.
What was the idea behind that?
Recognition of the tremendous inspiration that Hugh has been to so many of us, and a good source of advice.
And just to mention the Hotxbuns ride will continue next year with Panagua Bikes taking over the organisation. Well, that's it for this edition of Cycling Life. There are photos and links on the podcast page at bigfootcc.co.uk, and make sure you check out the Big Hearterfield page as well. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give it a rating and some stars on iTunes, tell your friends, and if you'd like to contribute to a future episode or record an item, just get in touch via the podcast page of bigfootcc.co.uk. I'm Andy Ivey, and as the great broadcaster John Ebden used to say, if you have been, thanks for listening.